Shout out to everybody in the building. What's good? It's your boy Wallstreet Dame. You already know I'm back with another one with the Wallstreet Dame Show.
Wallstreet Dame.
First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my man, my homie, my boy, Polo Square. Polo, if you're not familiar with him, get familiar with him. That's my man. We do the Wallstreet Dame Show. We do the tap in with Dame and Polo. We do it all. We got different shows. We got different content. And now I'm bringing this shit to Twitch, bringing it to YouTube. We're doing what we got to do here. We on the hustle. We on the grind. If y'all don't know who I am, my name is Wallstreet Dame.
Wallstreet Dame.
Once again, welcome to the channel. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow me. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Stay ahead for future content. I got different type of content that I do. But just to reintroduce myself, my name is Wallstreet Dame. Well known in Connecticut, more former promoter, used to keep the nightlife lit, was a former photographer, kept the ladies looking good, DJ, definitely kept the music rocking, and then now podcaster. But I'm not new to the game. I've been podcasting for a while. Let's keep it a buck. I'm probably one of the first podcasters in Connecticut. Now, what I mean by that, probably 3.5 years ago, I came in podcasting. I was a fan of the podcast. I used to listen to the podcast app on the Apple, on the iPod. I used to always like podcasting. I used to ride around, in the car. Other people listen to music. I'm listening to podcasts. And one day, 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the shit. And I did it. I had a show, Money Talks Radio. We used to call it MTR Podcast. We started off on a radio station, moved over to like a podcast setting, and I was putting out episodes. This is before a lot of people got on the wagon, and I'm supportive of everyone getting on the wagon because we need to grow the podcast community. But I took some time off, and now I'm back. And if you knew anything about me before, you would know one thing. I'm pretty good at this shit. I know how to talk, I know how to crack jokes, and I know how to entertain. So I'm back. It's the Wallstreet Dame Show. And when it's not the Wallstreet Dame Show, then it's the tap in with my boy, Polo Square. Shouts out to Johnstown, PA. We in the building. I got other people I'm about to work with. Shouts out to my homie, Money Ray. We about to do some shit together. And if you want to do some shit with Wallstreet, understand, link with me. We're going to make it happen. With that being said, what I'm going to try to do here is feed y'all some content. You know what I'm saying? Each and every week, I'm going to come to y'all. And my main goal is to really keep you updated on some activities in the business, whether it's entertainment, news, whatever it may be. Now, if you know my style of delivery, I'll talk about relevant activities, whether it has to do with news, whether it has to do with me, everyday life. But honestly, don't expect like a serious take from me. I'm going to keep it as 100 as possible. But I believe in making jokes and making light of situations because life is just a heavy thing. And I don't like to be that heavy. Now, I will get serious when I need to get serious. But one thing about me is I will report the news as I see it. I'm not here to cater to no one. I'm not afraid to speak my mind and say what the fuck I feel, whether you agree or disagree. And if you do disagree, it's all good. I respect it. But you got to understand, you got to respect my opinion too. That's why you're here, to listen to what I got to say. And I'm going to say it. So with that being said, if you got anything you want me to talk about, hit me up. The links, they're there. Make sure you like and subscribe once again and also support the channel. Well needed at any given time. With that being said, I'm going to kick it off right. Once again, each and every time I come up on here, we're going to talk about some topics. I'm going to run them through, and I'm going to share my thoughts on them. And that's how it goes. Some days I may do a guest, some days I may not. But you're now tuned in once again with the Wallstreet Dame Show.
Wallstreet Dame.
Welcome. So, first things, the Grammys. Grammys just came up this past week. I believe it was on Sunday, if I'm correct. And I'm always like, when it comes to the Grammys, I'm not the biggest fan of watch. Honestly, I don't even know if black people watch that shit. To be honest with you, I remember like I used to watch like the Source Awards, BET, and shit. Grammys, not really, right? But it came out. They had a lot of notable awards. So I wanted to go through some of the awards and the achievements of the Grammys and let me know what you think. But I'm always skeptical of the Grammys because they got like what's that the Grammy committee? I forgot what it's called. It's called like the Academy Award, something like that. Some committee. I don't even know who the fuck makes up this committee. I don't know who's on it, which hip hop historian, which R&B historian, which professional is on it. Someone we could call a subject matter expert in our music. I know country music people, they got their expert. Contemporary got their expert. Pop has their expert. But I'm really wondering who the expert is when it comes to R&B and hip hop. And quite frankly, I don't think there is one. But we're going to go through these votes. We're going to go through some of these awards. And I'm going to give you some updates on who won, who didn't, some honorable mentions, and once again, my thoughts on it. So, first things first, the Grammys. Record of the year was About Damn Time by Lizzo, right? So, Lizzo had a good run this year. She came out with About Damn Time. You know, she still ain't put no clothes on yet, but it's all good. I know a few guys that like they woman nice and big like Lizzo. The BBWs is in full effect. So, shouts out to Lizzo. Walk around and keep it proud, thong and all. But she did win Record of the Year. So once again, respect to Lizzo. Now, that song did beat out Beyonce with You Don't Break My Soul, whatever. Beyonce came with the dance records this year. It also beat out Doja Cat and Kendrick Lamar. Now, keep this in mind. You're going to hear a trend of Kendrick Lamar, Doja Cat, and then it also beat out a song by Mary J. Blige, which, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know Mary had an album out. It now sounds fucked up, but it's the truth. Did not know Mary had an album out. But for somehow, Mary was voted for all these Grammys. So she had an album, but it was poorly, in my opinion, promoted. Because if I didn't hear about it, I know my boys didn't hear about it. I know a lot of people I know didn't hear. My girl didn't hear about it. So who the fuck heard about this album? Now, if you heard about it, let me know. I'm just saying I don't understand how you get a Grammy vote and nomination when most people ain't hear about your album. Granted, I love Mary. Shouts out to Mary, why your representative all day, holding it down. I'm a big fan of Mary, but I'm not a big fan of Grammy nominations where nobody knows you have an album. That shit don't even make sense. But that's me. Once again, is Wall Street Dame.
Wall Street Dame.
Now, album of the year, Harry's House by Harry Styles. Once again, beating out Beyonce's Renaissance album. Now, as a black man in America, I've never heard of a Harry Styles song in my life. Honestly, the first time I heard about Harry Styles is I used to work with this dude. I won't say the company I used to work for. I used to work with a really well-known company. And the dude, Caucasian man, very cool. And he was like, yo, me and my wife is going to a Harry Styles concert. I was like, who the fuck is Harry Styles? And he said, you don't know who Harry Styles is? I said, hell no, I don't know who Harry Styles is. Who the fuck is Harry Styles? He goes, oh, he's big, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yo, be honest with you, black people really don't know about Harry Styles. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm just saying where I'm from, and I'm not a black American. I'm a Jamaican black American. So I really don't know if I fucking Harry. I don't even think Jamaicans know he exists. But American blacks may, African Americans, they possibly may. Doubt it. But shouts out to Harry Styles. But I don't know how you win a Grammy nomination when a whole race and demographic may not even know who you are. Once again, this goes down to the voting, right? I'm thinking more of a holistic type of artist that is world renowned and every culture, kind of like Bruno Mars is a really good one because everybody, like, I don't give a shit. You Mexican, black, Spanish, Asian, you like Bruno Mars. He just had that like even type of music that everybody messed with. Harry Styles, Why would I mess with Harry Styles? Harry's house? I'm not even listening to a song named Harry's house. I don't want to go to Harry's house. Harry's house sounds scary. Just saying. All right. Um, but Beyonce did something, and she actually won a lot. She actually won the record for the most Grammys, setting the record with 32 wins. That's big as hell. The Renaissance album tells she was able to bring in the best dance record with You Won't Break My Soul. She also brought in the best dance electronica album with the Renaissance album. Now, this album was very different. It was kind of like, I don't know if it was an experimental thing, but I know she definitely switched up the game and went the dance electronic route. So did Drake. Now, the reason I believe Drake isn't in this discussion for because Drake's album broke records. I don't know who broke more records. I'd imagine Beyonce may have, right? Because I feel like while Drake is a big global force, Beyonce just has that edge, that beehive. It's deep. With that being said, Drake has also boycotted the Grammy, so he's not even mentioning. So once again, this award show is a little skewed because individuals that could contend are not even showing up, right? But Beyonce wins 32 wins, 32 different awards categories. One thing about this album is I've listened to it and I like the creativity. It looks like it's one of those albums that Beyonce fans really like. It's different. I like the fact that she went into a different direction instead of sticking with the traditional R&B sound. She just pretty much went a whole different direction with the electronic sound. Electronic folks have done it. I've seen some of the house DJs. They've now sampled R&B songs or brought in the rappers and made a little hybrid hip hop, R&B, hip hop, hybrid house hip hop. They've done it, right? So it was our turn to reverse it. Beyonce did reverse it. Drake did reverse it, and it worked. Now, do I want to see a bunch of other artists do that? I'm not sure. I mean, it was done. It was great. I mean, I think that was like in the '80s, early '90s, some CC Peniston type shit. They even dibbled and dabbled with it back then, but it was kind of, that was more like a DC thing, DC house music, New Jersey house. But in Connecticut, New York, wasn't really a thing, right? But once again, respect to the Queen, much love, shouts out to you, and congratulations. Now we're gonna move on. One more thing on this album, Renaissance. Now Jay being the good husband he is, and shouts out to Jay Z. Whatever I say next, I say it respectfully. Not trying to get myself canceled on my first stream. All right. Um, Jay Z was disappointed that his wife didn't win the best album, which I understand. I would be disappointed as well. But he did say the reason why he's disappointed because this album inspired the world. Mm, how sway? All right, I understand this album was very entertaining. This album was very good in terms of music choice. Um, People loved the album. Women loved the album. Beyonce fans loved the album. Inspiration, probably the most it has done inspired people to that can't sing to want to sing. Inspired people that feel like they want to do dance music to do dance music. But in terms of inspired the world do what? I mean, I don't know if an album collectively has ever expired. Songs may have inspired the world, like Michael Jackson, "Heal the World, Make It a Better Place." That was inspiring. Black and White, inspiring. Bob Marley, "One Love," inspiring. "You Won't Break My Soul," I guess. The album though, who on this planet has ever had a whole album that has been inspiring? Songs have been inspiring. Albums, mm, I don't know. I thought Bob Marley could have done it. I don't know. probably I'll give Kirk Franklin some credit. At least he had the whole church had a stomping and praising the Lord. But I cannot see Beyonce's whole album and say, "I this inspired the world." Inspired the world to do what? Go buy some Beyonce tickets for her upcoming concert. That's all it did. Got the world going crazy. The tickets are so high and people are paying it. So I guess she inspired people to go spend some money. Shouts out to Beyonce. So much money that the Senate, yes, the US Senate, is tweeting Ticketmaster talking about "we see you." Because you know they got beef. They think that Ticketmaster is monopolizing on the industry, which they are. But there's nothing wrong with monopoly if it's business. Business is business. Make your money. But the Senate is watching. And how I feel about that is like, Senate, stop watching what they doing and do your goddamn job. You got fucking China flying balloons over here watching us, but you watching Ticketmaster? Give me a fucking break. Please, come on. As I move on, it's the Wall Street Dame Show.
Wall Street
Let's go.
Dame.
Now, next topic. Best R&B album. It goes to Robert Glasper, Black Radio the Third or Black Radio 3. Okay. Never heard the album. Some would have heard of Robert Glasper in and out, but never took the initiative to even listen to his music. So I can't comment on how good his music is. But what I can comment on is he beat out a lot of different artists with great projects like Lucky Day, and he beat out Chris Brown with Breezy, which I like the Breezy album. I actually went to the Chris Brown concert, went out in the summertime with my lady, had a good old time. One of the best. This guy danced from fucking beginning to end, nonstop. I was like, I got tired, and I was standing up. I went to the bathroom and got tired. He's over there dancing all over the place. Phenomenal concert, right? So Chris Brown, if I'm him and I get beat by a guy named Robert Glasper, like the last name itself, Glasper? All right. Chris Brown was in his feelings and went on IG, popped up a little video and was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Rightfully so, because that's what I said. So Chris was thinking what everybody else was thinking that was not a Robert Glasper fan. So once again, this goes back to the Academy, the committee picking the picks. Who are you picking the picks for? You ain't picking it for the true R&B people, because true R&B people wouldn't have made that pick. The true R&B fans would have. I mean, I guess Robert Glasper could have been. I just don't know. Like, I feel like there's better R&B artists that everyone's heard of. That's like an R&B fan. So how did Robert Glasper win? Nothing against Robert Glasper, because I'm gonna do myself the favor. I think one day I'm going to go review his album. And if I like the album better than Chris Breezy, I'll come here and say, you know what, Chris, who the fuck is he? He's the guy that beat you. And I'll say that. But right now, I don't know, man. I've never even heard of the guy. Once again, he's kind of like a Harry Styles to me, just a black version. You might have called it Glasper's house at this point, because I never heard of the guy. But I'm going to do myself a favor. I'm going to listen before I keep continuing on. But Chris Brown was not feeling it. And I guess this guy is like some, jazz R&B kind of artist. So if I'm correct, let me know. But Chris even went on and said, "What do I got to do? I got to get my skills up. I got to start learning how to play the harmonica and shit." Chris is already dancing. He's singing. Now he's got to step up the dance, the instruments, the harmonicas. Chris was upset. Now he went on and apologized, but I'm not mad at the guy. If I'm him, Chris has been slighted for years because of the Rihanna issue. He's now to the point where the actual award shows are starting to somewhat recognize him and put him in voting again. The man deserves some flowers. He deserves the best R&B project. But once again, I'm going to do myself the favor. I'm going to review the Robert Glasper thing. And if it's good, it's good. If it sucks, though, I'm gonna shit on it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's Wall Street
Wall
Dame.
Street
Let's go.
Dame.
Shouts out to everybody locked in with me once again. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I love all the I'm gonna keep doing this content and get familiar. Wall Street Dame is back in this motherfucker, right? Now, let's talk about rap. So they have a category called Best Rap Experience. Now you could tell the hood don't run this show. The rap experience? What the fuck is a rap experience? Rap experience? When in any hood in black circle have we ever said, how was your rap experience? You could tell we are not running the show when it comes to this particular platform, the Grammys. I just know that from when was it, a couple of years ago when the ska band beat out all the hottest spice and all them for the dance hall and reggae album. I was like, what the fuck's going on here as a Jamaican? So I knew right there and then we weren't running the show. But if we're not going to run the show, at least bring some people on here to talk some common sense during the voting room and say, we cannot have Robert Glasper beat Chris Brown or Lucky Day. Talk some sense. But in terms of, let's say, the best rap experience, and when I say rap, it goes to the Heart Part 5. Okay? Kendrick. Can respect that. But it beat out Glorilla with F&F, which was a big record. It beat out Pushing P, which was a big record. And while I like Kendrick, I just don't think in our community that was a bigger record than F&F. But in the other community, it may have been because they would have got beat up for saying F&F to begin with. All right? With that being said, we move on to the best trap song collaboration. Trap song, meaning trap song that is sung. Once again, a category we wouldn't make. And that one goes to Wait For You by Drake and Future, which I do like that song. I really feel it's very melodic. Shouts out to what's her name? The singer. I can't remember it. I don't know why I can't remember her name. It's terrible. Thames. That's who it is. She was on the hook. Really like that song. I like the video. It's real dramatic. Future's album grew on me. Drake and Future delivered, even though when they did the project to that, I was a little underwhelmed by that project. I actually went back and listened to it, that old project with Jumpman and all that, and I was like, damn, for a Future and Drake album, like, why is this shit sucks? Drake and 21 did a great thing. The Future one was like, this is not really it. Well, either way, when they connect for these one-off singles, they do a phenomenal job. So shouts out to them for winning the best trap song thing. Now, once again, the best rap album, circle back around, who wins? Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the Big Stepper wins. So, even though I don't think he had the best rap song, I think, or let's call it the rap experience, um, did he have the best rap album of the year? I mean, he dropped the album early enough to be able to take that claim. It was standard Kendrick. You know, Kendrick is authentic in terms of his rapping, but he does command a commercial presence. So does Drake. Um, I don't know. It's a tough one. A lot of people dropped albums. I don't think Drake had it, but once again, he wouldn't be here because he doesn't participate in the Grammys. I do think the Drake and 21 album is arguably up there, but Drake kind of once again took himself out of this running. So I don't know. I guess he can have that award based on the pool. The pool is short; it's small in here. But overall, the Grammys is the Grammys, right? I don't think it really fully represents how we view music and how we would rate music. Um, I'm kind of waiting to see what BET award. I kind of wish they would bring back something like the Source Award, but clearly not the Source, just something more authentic for us. But we'll see what the BET award does when it comes up. Now, shouts out to everyone that attended. I know that Quavo did a heartfelt, you know, performance in memory of Takeoff. So, rest in peace, Takeoff. I believe they also, the Grammys, did a video montage of or in memoriam for the past artists that have, passed away. So that included Takeoff, I believe Coolio, which was a legend, and DJ K Slay, which was also a legend. Now, social media got a hold of that, Twitter especially, and Instagram, and started saying, hey, what about Gangsta Boo? How come no one mentioned Gangsta Boo, one of the leading founders of female rap in the South? Why no one mentioned that? People also said, what about Little Keed? No one mentioned you didn't put him on in the Grammys. So here's my thought on that. I do agree that if you're gonna pay homage to some of the passed away rappers, then this year you should probably do your research and include Gangsta Boo and Lil Keed. Rest in peace. You should. But once again, I think I set the tone in the beginning of letting you know that we don't run the Grammys. And when I say we, black people in general, I don't see the head of the Grammy commission or academy. I don't think they're black. And if they are, prove me wrong. I mean, possibly. Just come out and say, hey, my name is Rashad, and give me like a brother name too. Don't tell me my name is Carlton. Give me some real brother name and let me know where you came up from and tell me you ran this, and then I'll say, okay, it's validated. Well, up until then, I'm not surprised that Gangsta Boo and Little Keed aren't in it because this is not for Gangsta Boo and Little Keed. The Grammys are not. Gangsta Boo and Little Keed would never be invited to the Grammys if they were alive. I don't think they have, right? Unless 3 6 Mafia, I mean Juicy J possibly may have, but you know, Gangsta Boo and Little Keed wouldn't be recognized by them. So I'm not surprised that they're not in here. I could see Takeoff because of who the Migos are. The Migos are commercial. They were doing Doritos commercials and Super Bowl commercials. Coolio. Coolio was definitely commercial. Now K Slay may not be commercial, but K Slay's well known and a pioneer in hip hop. So you have to recognize K Slay, even if you're gonna broach on celebrating hip hop with awards. But Little Key and Gangsta Boo, I could see how they just missed out on this one. Now, what we do hope is that the BET Awards, or if they even have that this year, that they at least acknowledge it because I'd imagine they're a little bit more of the culture. So if they have an oversight on this one there, then I would be like, damn, that's disappointing. But at the Grammys, I'm not that disappointed because I had no expectation for them to recognize Gangsta Boo and Little Keed. So once again, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo, Lil Keed. This is not a slight against you. It's just calling out the obvious of why they weren't in that in memoriam of the fallen hip hop artist. Once again, rest in peace to all the fallen people. Takeoff, Coolio, DJ K Slay, anyone else that passed away this year that provided music to us. Now, once again, you rocking with the boy Wall Street
Wall
Dame.
Street Dame.
Shouts out to everybody in the building. Now, I'm gonna switch up gears a little bit, but if you're tuning in, once again, make sure that you go subscribe to my Apple Podcast, Wall Street Dame. You can find me on Google Podcasts as well, Wall Street Dame Show. Go on YouTube, check me out, Wall Street Dame. Everything is Wall Street Dame. It ain't that hard to find. Now, we'll give you a heads up. I do a podcast with my boy Polo, and that's going to be called The Tap In with Dame and Polo. The Tap In with Dame and Polo. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to put out some new content. We'll be cracking jokes like a motherfucker. We talk about some real shit. Shit gets real personal, but it's fun. If you want to be entertained, we're definitely going to check it. Now, if you're into music, once again, go check out my YouTube channel. I got Face the Music, my YouTube channel, where I just pretty much go in and do album reviews. I compare artists against each other, and I rate them. I revisit old songs, revisit old albums that we thought were hot, and I say, okay, a few years have been passed. I haven't heard this album in a while. Does it hit like it used to? Does it hit just the same way, better, or is it like, yo, damn, I thought that shit was hot. Now it sounds like it sounds kind of shitty because over the years our sounds of music changed. So, it's just my experience listening to music. You can identify, but watch it, face the music on my YouTube channel, Wallstreet Dame. Remember that, right? Now, on to the next thing. Super Bowl is coming up, right? Now, who I wonder who y'all have. What is it? Philly versus Kansas City. Now, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you who I think is going to win, but I'm not rooting for anyone because someone like me, if you could see my shirt right here, I'm a New York Knicks fan forever. All right? This is what I wear in the house. I'm a Knicks fan. Love it or hate it. You may think I'm crazy. You may think it's stupid for me, but I'm a Knicks fan all the way. 100%. I'm also a Giants fan. Big blue in this motherfucker. I'm New York all the way. All the way. Now, I represent Connecticut, but unfortunately, Connecticut cheap ass don't want to get no, cough up no money to get no team. And I don't think the people in Connecticut is going to support a team anyway. We just too ignorant to do that shit. But with that being said, New York all the way. Big blue. Knicks, definitely Giants. And when I'm in my mood, I might celebrate with the Yankees. But once again, Knicks and Giants. So I'm a little salty about my Giants loss, especially to the Eagles. But I understand. I was a little surprised about the season anyway. Nobody expected us to do that good season week one, but we did great. I'm happy. Danny Dimes, shouts out to him. He did what he was supposed to do. Saquon did what he's supposed to do. We had a great year. But but Eagles versus KC. I'm gonna say, look, what I do like about this Super Bowl is that you have two brothers, two black men. Well, yeah, two black men. Patrick Mahomes, I would consider him like half and half. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like no coffee, he the half and half, right? He's like, you have chocolate and then you have like chocolate milk. So chocolate milk is never black. It's milky. It's chocolate milk. So you got Justin Hurts, who's definitely he's a brother. He's still on the light skin side, but he ain't half and half. But you still got two brothers, so I give it respect. So Patrick Mahomes and Justin Hurts, they're in the Super Bowl. It's the first time two brothers are in the Super Bowl. So that's a big feat. It's Black History Month. It's a cool thing. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's just the NFL trying to, pander." Nah, I think they've proven like Patrick Mahomes has been here before. This is normal shit that he does. And then Justin Hurst had a great year. I remember me and Polo Square. Shouts out to Polo. We had a talk about who's one of my top five quarterbacks for the year. I'm not even an Eagles fan, but I said Justin Hurts should be on that list, and I'm correct. He's going to the Super Bowl, right? So, shouts out to them. Black History Month. That's good. Another cool thing. One of the quarterbacks is represented by the first black female sports agent to represent a quarterback in the Super Bowl. That's pretty cool. So shouts out to Nicole Lynn. We're making progress. I love it. It's Black History Month. Black women empowerment. Love that shit. Keep it going. But you got to pick one. Who's going to win? Who's not going to win? I think, I'm going to go with Philly. And I think Philly is going to win. And I'm going to give my opinion on Philly, by the way. But I think Philly's going to win because they've consistently been at one point they had the best record in the league. Um, they've consistently been a solid team. They don't really have that many injuries. Patrick Mahomes is not 100%. Doesn't have Tariq Hill this year. Granted, they've still done well enough to get to the Super Bowl, but they're not like the team that they were in the past few years. They're just really good. They're a well-oiled machine, but I still think that Eagles may take it. I think the Eagles just have enough talent on defense and offense to get it done. But I do think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. It's not. It's gonna. They're both going to put up some points. We know that for sure. But I am more concerned with Patrick Mahomes' health. If he was more healthy, I would say probably KC may have a good chance of winning. But I think the Eagles are going to take it. My opinion. Now to get to the Eagles fans, I thought Dallas had the worst fans at one point. I'm not gonna lie. I always thought Dallas fans were like the most obnoxious out of all the fans, and I'm realizing I was wrong. I apologize to my Dallas fans. I apologize to y'all. Y'all not that obnoxious. You know, New York fans don't give a shit. We'll boo our own team, but I don't think we're obnoxious. Dallas fans, y'all go into other people's stadium. Y'all just take over, and y'all never stop talking, but you never win. But you still talk as if you won, and you haven't won since the early '90s, since Emmett Smith and them. Love that team, by the way. And they would have made me a Dallas fan back in the day, but I've always held down New York. But y'all just always talk. Dallas fans are just like pesty at times, but they're funny at the same time. So it's like I kind of like when they talk shit. It's funny. They're probably the most made fun of fans out of everybody. But with that being said, the Eagles fans I get to, you guys are a different breed. I think the Eagles fans have the most. You guys just don't give a shit, man. Y'all talk the most. You're loud. It's obnoxious. And I'm speaking from my three experiences I've had with the Eagles fans. But most recently, I had two of them this year. One, I went to a New York Giants versus Texans game. And somehow there were Eagles fans in the stands. Now, granted, the Giants and the Eagles are big rivals. But how the fuck? And it was a bye week, I think, for the Eagles. So Eagles fans just came to Giant Stadium to just start chanting Eagle chants? That's obnoxious as hell. And they was in there talking shit. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are y'all even doing at this game? This has nothing to do with the Eagles. But they were there. Drove all the way down to New York or Jersey. Eagles fans. Was at a Knicks game yesterday. It was the Knicks versus Philly. Now, I expected some Philadelphia Sixers fans, some Philly Sixers to come through. And for somehow people showed up in Eagles jerseys. Now I get it. Philly's in the town. They damn near took over MSG. And they was picking fights with everybody. They was saying, fuck the Knicks, fuck New York, fuck the Giants. Ain't had shit to do with a basketball game, but this is what they're doing. One dude, I don't even know if he made it out alive. He was talking shit to mad people on the stand. He took off his shirt. He's Eagles everything. He pulled up his finger and fuck everybody in the crowd. Eagles for life. I'm like, these motherfuckers are crazy, and and the other Eagle fans are cheering him on. Go, go! Guy takes off his shirt, start yelling at a man. Then what made it fucked up is the dude that he was yelling at had two kids. So the dude was talking back like, yo, shut up, sit down before I beat your ass. Man took off his shirt. All I gotta say, this nigga was diesel as hell. That dude turned around quick as hell and shut up. Unfortunately, his kids kept looking at this dude, and this dude started telling the kids, turn around and watch the fucking game and drink your juice before I do. So I'm sitting there like, okay, this nigga is wilding now. The kids are scared. Security was scared of this guy. And guess what? The Eagle fans were encouraging this behavior. You guys are reckless, disrespectful. But at the same time, I gotta respect it. You guys is riding so hard for your team. I wish the Knicks, we're dedicated. We take all the losses, but we don't carry that obnoxiousness that the Philly fans have. And I feel like we need to get there. But we're almost there. I think if we make the playoffs and go into second round for once in our lives, we'll get there. We'll start talking shit again. New York is going to get to a space where we going to talk shit again. We ain't talked shit since the Ewan days. I mean, we had a couple seasons with Carmelo. We could talk shit, but we could really talk shit like we did when LJ was here. like we did when Ewan, when he had Starks, Oakley, Allen Houston, Spreewell. That's when we was talking the most shit. I ain't talked shit in a long time as a New York fan. I be repping New York, but when basketball come up, I just hold my tongue. Can't talk shit no more. I gotta stay humble. Fuck it. New York to the death of me. Respect to Randall Julius for making the All Star game. I still think they shitted on my man Jalen Brunson. He deserves the All Star bid, but the East is full of a lot of stars. I get it. New York, we on the way. Shouts out to everybody. Hopefully, I could convert one of y'all to join me at the New York games and join the Knicks team too. But once again, shouts out to everybody. It's your boy Wall Street Dame. Black History Month. Shouts out to all the black women. Listen, black women have it tough, man. They have it tough. Y'all have it tough. Black men have it tough. But the women, y'all work hard. Y'all got to deal with all the stress from society, all the slights. And then y'all got to deal with us on top of it. Because the black men, we don't treat the black women like they need to be treated. Now, granted, these new age black women, they're a little different, though. Sometimes they don't, these years of us slighting them, they're not taking it out on us. And sometimes we can't live up to their standards anymore. But I don't blame them because we gave them years of systematic shit. So shouts out to the black women in Black History Month. Keep working hard. We are proud of you. Shouts out to all my black men out there that's really stepping it up, trying to. I mean, I feel like we're in this generation right now where it's a lot of lost individuals, but you do have a good amount that's out there still hustling, working hard. They buying properties, they investing, they trying to hustle to make ends meet or to be above ends meet. So I respect y'all. Be trying to be model citizen. But I think as black men we need to do more and reach out and help another one. So I challenge all of us to reach out and help. All right, if you Spanish, Latin, whatever it may be, same to you. We all live in the hood together sometimes. Help each other out. We got to get ahead. But with that being said, shout out to my black woman. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to talk about the black woman because I watched a movie this past weekend. I believe it was called You People. This is with Lauren London. So I'm happy to see Lauren London back on screen. She actually reminds me a lot of my sister, believe it or not. Shout out to my sister, by the way. But it's good to see Lauren London back on screen. I know since Nipsey's passing, she has kind of just been laying low, handling family affairs as she should, and she did, like a real woman would. So shout out to my strong black woman and Lauren London. So you people, I don't know if you've seen the movie. That movie is actually has stars Jonah Hill, um, Eddie Murphy's in it. I believe Julia Louise Dreyfus from Seinfeld is in it, and there's some other you know people that show up in the movie. So it's a well produced movie in terms of what it is. The movie really covers dating, interracial dating, and some of the differences, whether it's religion, culture, and just how a white dude meets a black woman, and he's a white dude. He respects the culture. He loves rap music. He identifies with it, and he don't dress white. He got a little hip, little flavor to him. Um, but at the flip side, he's still kind of white dude, right? And then you have the black Lauren London, which I don't think she plays like the hardcore black woman, but she's a black woman, and they come from a Muslim family, and then you have the white guy who's from the Jewish family. So it just shows how they dated, and the family started really having a lot of cultural differences and religious differences. Now, do I feel like the differences are accurate, and would it play out like that in real life? I mean, some part of it would. I think there's a scene where the Kufi, caught on fire. I didn't really like that scene, and I'm not Muslim, but I just felt like that was a stretch. But on the flip side, I could see how that works in terms of just the different religion's a big thing, and I feel like whether you black or white, you could be black Catholic and black Christian, and it could be a difference. You could be a black Christian with a Spanish, Catholic, and it's gonna be a problem because even though you may get along with that individual, when the religion piece, how are you gonna raise the child? Which religion? What are your belief structures? All that come into play. So sometimes that becomes an issue. Also, the cultural piece comes an issue too because of stereotypes. Like sometimes it's not to their fault. Some of them grow up with a certain type of viewpoint and stereotype because they never met another race. That happens with black people too. Black people have stereotypes against white people in Spanish that because they may have not been around them in certain situations. Now I've been pretty cultured, so I've been around, so I can identify and relate. Some people just can't. Same thing goes with white. So I never really hold it against them if they never had the exposure. But it does come to head when you're actually dating another race and the family may not be well versed on your particular culture and background, and some people are accepting, but then you have others that they want to accept it, but because they don't know much, it creates this like level of kind of like ignorance where you're like, yo, seriously, like, and they just don't know no better, and it's our job. Is it our job to teach them or not? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's right or wrong. I've been in that situation. It's frustrating. It didn't clearly work out for me. I came back and went home. I'm back with a black woman, and it's going to stay that way for me. But I also know a lot of couples that are interracial. One of my best friends growing up was a white dude, Italian, by the way, and he's married to a dark skin. I believe she's Spanish, but she will look black if you see her on anywhere. But either way, he grew up dating black women, and he took the time to get to know my culture. So he's a little bit more understanding in terms of sense, and he even recognizes I won't know everything about it. But he's there. He doesn't judge. His family never judged. They did a great job. But I've been in situations where I've dated different cultures, and trust me, they looked at me, and one of them, I think the mother called me a nigga. That was the first time I've ever had like a racial interaction. I was kind of like, okay, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So I had one woman. She cried in front of me the first time I met her, and she fed me. By the way, she cooked a whole meal. I was fed, smiled in my face, and when the meal was done, when I took that last bite, tears started coming out the woman's eyes. She was bawling, and I said, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What's going on here?" And she said, "Damien." And I said, "What's up? Why are you crying?" And she said, "My daughter's never dated a black man before." I said, "Oh shit." I can't make this up. Mind blown. So, I felt like, you know what, I'm going to try to educate her a little bit on the culture through me being a model citizen, through me being a good person. But it was definitely like made me step back a little bit, like, whoa. So it's out there, man. These racial stereotypes kind of break things down. I think people love who you want to love, be true and honest about that love. And then if you're going to date interracially, make sure you don't go in there with any stereotypes. Just learn the other culture. Learn through the person that you're with, ask the right questions, and ease yourself into the relationship with the family. And you'll be fine. Because I feel like people ultimately would judge you on crap character. But, you're going to have your battles. You're going to have your battles. But it was a good movie. I do think that there were some undertones of the whole Kyrie situation with what happened there. You could kind of see that they were touching on certain subjects, but it's Hollywood. What do you expect, right? But if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. If you have a comment on it, let me know. But once again, you're tuning in with your boy Wall Street Dame.
Wall Street Dame.
Please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Once again, I want to thank you for all your support. Speaking of Netflix, so the movie is actually on Netflix. Now, I want to get back to one thing, by the way. Speaking of black women, I've seen this trend where, I'll go on Facebook and then you'll see a picture of this girl and they say, pick who's better. One of them is actually with Lala Vasquez, right? Lala Anthony, right? And then you have versus Lauren London, and they put all these pretty pictures of them and say who's better. And I'm like, why do y'all have to like compare the two? There, I mean, I don't know who's better. They both look good, but we have this way of trying to pin women against each other to see who looks better. Who gives a fuck who looks better? If you look good, you look good. We got to stop doing that. That starts creating this level of division mentally amongst us. I don't judge who looks better. It's about do you look fine? And Lala Anthony looks good, and so does Lauren London. So bottom line, they're always trying to pin women against each other. Who's the best rapper? Female rapper. What about who's just the best rapper? It ain't got to be the best female rapper. Just who's the best rapper? You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to segregate the genders. Come on, we gotta do better than that shit. All right. Um, Now Netflix, and I'm gonna leave it on here. Right. Speaking of Netflix, so Netflix has been trying to get you passport sharing motherfuckers out of here. You cheapies. Sharing passport like Netflix is $15 a month. Now, granted, if you're in high school, you're in college, you're starting your career, $15 a month may be a stretch. But if that's the case, just go get Tubi. If you broke, watch broke movies. It's okay. Work your way up to Netflix. But the sharing, they're getting tired of that shit. They're getting tired of the Netflix and chilling for free. Because trust me, as a grown man, if I go date, there's no more chilling for free. They're going to make me trick. They're going to make me pay my way. The girls are going to let me pay my way to even date them. They want dinner. They want entertainment. So Netflix is saying that Netflix and chill shit is not for free. But y'all want to share. So now they're going to go change up the whole password routine. So according to Netflix, they have a guideline on their webpage that explicitly says a Netflix account is for people who live together in a single household. Well, news to Netflix. Black people, I can speak on behalf of us, we ain't following that guideline. All right? I get it. I believe that people should pay for their account. If you got four names and numbers, passwords you can give out, sure. I believe play by the rules. But you have to be kidding yourself to think that we are gonna follow that shit. All right. Next, they make a note and says when a user attempts to log into an account outside of the primary holder's house, a verification may be needed. Netflix, have you heard of text message? Everybody got a phone now that their email is connected to. So if I'm trying to log into so and so account and Netflix says enter verification code, I'm texting so and so as send me the verification code. Netflix, come on, man. These are pointless guidelines. Um, and on top of it, they're catching hassle. They're going back on their word. Back in 2007, Netflix was caught tweeting love. I guess they were doing a tweet about what love is, and they said love is attraction and love is an addiction. And then the last one they said love is sharing a password. And now y'all going back on sharing passwords. So what? Y'all don't love us. Netflix don't got no love for us people. So you know what? Y'all need to cancel that shit and go fuck with Tubi. Go back to the essence. I know Tubi is bootleg, but shit, give them some more money. Let them get some better production, and they're gonna get you some better movies. There's gonna be movies by us. Right now, I'm kind of on my Peacock pause trend with the whole like the Bel Air's about to come back. So Bel Air's a dope show. I'm gonna watch that. I'm probably gonna be off Netflix. I'm also gonna be on HBO Max. I like my HBO Max series, so that's what I'm gonna be on. I believe they got the show called Last of Us. If you don't know about it, check it out. Pretty dope show. But that's what I'm on. Netflix, I'm taking a break. I'm gonna chill for free on Yah for a minute. With that being said, I want to shout out to everybody once again. Probably twice a week, I'm gonna jump on and do a little video or so. But make sure y'all tune into the Wall Street Dame Show.
Wallstreet Dame.
Once again, make sure y'all check me on the socials. So if you Want to connect with me? You could connect with me on Instagram. I'm at Wall Street Dame on Instagram. You could connect with me. Email if you want to do a podcast with me, or you want to get interviewed, whatever it may be. If you want to advertise and let me give you a shout out, just hit me up. Emails there's ctpartylot at gmail.com. But make sure you follow the podcast. Support me in that way. Go to Apple Podcasts, go to Google Podcasts, look up Wall Street Dame Show. Keep an eye out for the Tapping with Dame and Polo. That's a new show that's going to be coming up. Support my YouTube channel. Send a cash app. I'll take whatever. I'm buying equipment. I just got this new mic. Sounds better. Got some lighting around me. I'm about to go get a good backdrop. I'm going to expand. There's going to be times where I'm going to be coming and doing on site interviews on spots. But that does need some support. Now, granted, I got money to some degree, but at some point, I'm going to need some help for entertainment. With that being said, if you don't have money, what I will take is a like and a share. Share this video. If you like it, leave a comment because every comment counts. And definitely leave a review for the show on podcasts, on Apple Podcasts. Those reviews actually help out a lot. So either way, I appreciate y'all. It's all love, love and peace. Wall Street Dame, we out.